But in the semi-final of the women's singles, it's a dream matchup. Wimbledon champion Steffi Graf, who has enjoyed a big rivalry with her opponent today, and with her big forehand firing with some more consistency lately, takes on Argentina's Gabriela Sabatini with her grace and fluidity. In fact, she spends part-time here on Key Biscayne. ESPN's coverage of the Lipton tennis from Key Biscayne.
It is the Lipton Championships. We're at the tennis center of Crandon Park on Key Biscayne, and the weather has not cooperated with this championship so far. Warm greetings to everybody. I'm Cliff Drysdale. It has been a very bad day again at the Lipton today. Not only the weather, but court problems as well. So this championship is just muddling through. There are a lot of women players who have muddled through to the semi-final of this championship, some of them very successfully. In fact, 3 of the top 4 seeds are in the semi-finals. The odd person out is Kimiko Date of Japan, who, as you can see, beat Mary Jo Fernandez. And in that section of the draw, also Jennifer Capriati was beaten as well. So it is Sanchez Vicario against Kimiko Date, and Sabatini and Graf, the match that you will see. I'm with the fine one, Fred Stolle. And Fred, you're from the South Florida area, so I'm going to get you to explain all of these sad problems that have beset this tournament.
Well, we've talked about this all afternoon, Cliff. This is probably the biggest exposure that a sporting event gets from South Florida. This goes worldwide, and I'm sure they're going crazy with this rain down here, because Florida really is not like this. I've been here for 16 years. I haven't seen 5 or 6 days like this in a row. It only rains in Florida 1 day at a time. I keep trying to tell everybody that. But what if, you know, it's such bad luck for Butch Buchholz. This court went down yesterday. They thought that they got a women's match on, a couple of women's matches on it yesterday. Then the men took the court this morning, couldn't handle it. They were sent out to court 1, and they've tried to get tennis on centre court 6 different times. But finally, we hope we've got some.
Well, I think we should explain, Fred, that this tennis court has had so much moisture, so much rain, moisture in the air as well. And when the heat hits it, it has bubbled up similarly to what happened at the Volvo International Tournament in New Haven, Connecticut. So in addition to the weather, etc., we've had these terrible court problems as well. Having said all of that, the good news today, Mary Carrillo, is this, that the semi-final of the women's singles sure is a barn burner. What a great matchup. These two have played so many times before. It's Sabatini and Graf.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. It's a dream semi-final, really, to have Graf and Sabatini. They've played each other so many times. When you look at their head-to-head record, it looks like, you know, Graf, obviously, she's won twice as many times as Sabatini, but she sure hasn't won lately against Gabriela, and she surely hasn't won in the state of Florida much. The last time they played, of course, was way back at Wimbledon last year. But you can see that in Florida, Sabatini's only lost 1 time. And, you know, again, who knows why she plays so well here. I think it really does help Gabriela that she plays in front of so many South American fans of hers and of the game. And I think that has something to do with it. But I really do feel that Steffi Graf is playing a level above everyone around her here at the Lipton this week. She said she had another very easy round in the quarterfinals yesterday. She came into the press conference smiling. I mean, she said, even I can't believe I've been able to maintain this high a level for so many rounds.
She's looking good, and it's nice to see her playing so well. She's got, again, Gabriela Sabatini. As you said, Mary, she has not had a good record against her, so it's going to be interesting to see how she does in Florida in this match in the semi-final of the Lipton. Our coverage today of this Lipton Championship is being brought to you by IBM. There's never been a better time to do business with IBM. By refreshing Lipton iced tea, share the experience. And by Bud Dry, for a beer that's refreshingly different, try Bud Dry. Number 1 and number 3 in this championship will play against each other in the semi-final of the women's singles. It's Gabriela Sabatini and Steffi Graf after this. Is leading Gabriela Sabatini, the number 3 seed, by 3 games to love, and that represents 2 breaks here in the first set. Take a look at the scoop here, Mary.
Well, again, this rivalry is so interesting, and in all the times they've played, so many of them have had to go 3 sets. As you can see, Graf has won most of them. There have been tie breaks all over the place. Sabatini is a very good tie break player, but look at that last one, which we happen to have going here right now. Graf leads sets 1 at love. She's won all 6 of them. She's working on one now. In fact, a couple of years ago against Sabatini, she had a love set, and you may remember she came out of the blocks real strongly, as she's doing now, before losing that one in 3 sets.
She has a 15-love lead in this game and 3-zip.
That's a nice shot from Sabatini. She's a good, she can be, if she's moving well enough, a very difficult win player because she's got a lot of angles and she knows how to use them. She's got all kinds of spins and speeds. This is the Camp Sabatini. Dennis Ralston in the white cap. Only been her coach for about 10 days now. Another.
Steffi's already won a couple of sets at love during this tournament against Arendt. That was 6-1, 6-love. And then against Natalie Torziat in the quarterfinal, she played as though she was double parked in that match. Very quick, 6-1, 6-love. And she started off that way in this one.
Well, you may think back to the Wimbledon final of last year, Graf over Sellis. It was the same type situation. There were stops and starts time and again because of the rain. And it was Graf who was quicker out of the blocks each time than Sellis. And that's why she beat her so easily, so convincingly in that final.
The bad news for Steffi Graf is that she's lost to Sabatini these last 2 Liptons in the semi-final. And Sabatini, in both cases, came back after losing the first set.
And one of those, she lost 6-love in 1991. Graf won the first set 6-love and then lost a very close tiebreaker in the second set, 8 points to 6. And then Sabatini went on to win it.
30-all. Game point here for Graf to go ahead 4-love. Steffi Graf has only lost to 2 people here, but lost to Everett 4 times and Sabatini a couple.
And in those 7 Lipton appearances, she's never lost before the semis.
Actually, I should say she lost twice to Everett. She beat her twice as well. Lipton, I really felt strongly that Sabatini was going to win the match, even after the first set was over and Graf had won it so convincingly, because I remembered what had happened the year before. This time, I don't have that same feeling. It's a different circumstance. This week has just been too crazy with the weather. So has this day been crazy, but for Steffi Graf, she now has a 4-game-to-love lead in the first set.
Well, last year's Lipton, it was Graf who really should have won it. Lost 7-5 in the second set tiebreaker. So very closely contested matches the last 2 years here. The white caps on
Small
the
craft warnings must be in effect.
You would think so. Oh, what a shot. That nearly took the net court judge's cap off. The serve out wide. Watch the net court judge here. This one goes down the line. Look at that. That woke her up. Out there again, a beautifully executed forehand.
Sabatini lives here in Key Biscayne. She's playing like she's still at home. She has not made her way to the stadium court yet. Love 30 in this game and 4-love to Graf.
That's the shot you like, Mary.
Yeah, that's my favorite shot of hers, actually, the backhand down the line. And the fans here trying to get her into this match are happy that she's finally got herself a winner. Unfortunately, they're not evening out the errors that Sabatini has made. It's still a pretty young match, and she's already had 7 unforced.
Another 2 break points for Graf.
Another one.
Nevertheless, a good play from Graf to put the pressure on Sabatini. She is very much in control of the set.
Well, it's a good time, Cliff. You know, Graf had a couple of chances to win the game. It's nice to see that she decided to try to win it from the net. But again, that's Sabatini's best backhand.
The tactics that Dennis Ralston, Sabatini's new coach, has given her is to try and get to the net. Break points there. Graf 2 of 6.
She has got another one too, Fred. So this set is about as close to over. It doesn't matter. 5 games to love, Graf.
Right now.
This is semi-final of the women at the Lipton Championships. It is Steffi Graf, the top seed, who's leading 5 games to love. Hasn't lost a game yet. Hasn't really looked like she's in much danger in this match at all so far. Deja vu, remember, this has happened before twice in the semi-finals, and Graf ended up losing. But as I said, I don't have that same feeling today. This is Graf serving for the set. The match is really on this young lady's racket, isn't it? And she could turn this around, but she has really got to want to do it. She's got to fight the conditions. She's got to fight the fact that they have been on and off this court 4 times before the whole thing got underway now again.
But it's really Graf who's gobbling up the court a lot more than Sabatini. She's made some nice plays into the net. She's forcing the issue. She's getting the short balls and punishing them. Sabatini's best shots have really come on defense in passing. She's not going to win this match trying to do that.
That is wide, so Graf has got 3 set points here. In fact, Sabatini has got more margin for error than Graf on really both sides. You can see the lights here. The stadium has been turned on. Early evening. That is wide, and Graf has won the first set easily. This partisan crowd would like to get more involved in this match, but there's not much to say at this stage if you're a Gabriela Sabatini fan, because it's been all Steffi Graf so far.
Well, they'd like a lot more match. It was only a 22-minute first set, but it was a match that was supposed to have started 5 hours ago. So, yeah, I think they are hungry for a little bit more.
You've got to give the fans a medal today, though, don't you? It's been miserable conditions. They've tried to have this match underway this 7 times. They've been on the court 4 times, but the court actually has been squeegeed off and right out 7 times, and showers have come back every time.
It's a clean court.
Yeah. Rather funny, because I even thought the guys with the squeegees were getting into pretty good rhythm.
Look at that, boy.
Yeah, only 5 points on serve, broken 3 times, hasn't won a game yet.